What's your relationship with failure? It's a big question, and often a relationship that we don't pay attention to. Let's pay attention to it today. For so many of us, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, there's this tendency to go into this spiral mindset where you get down on yourself. You feel like you're burnout. You want to create all the content, do all the things. And each time you do and it doesn't work, you're really hard on yourself. Now, that setback can even put you back weeks. What makes the difference for so many entrepreneurs is that they can regulate their nervous system and be in the mindset where failure is not just something that happens to them, but it's something they have a relationship with. So, when it comes to failure and your nervous system, a fear response can come up, right? You want to try something new, but you're afraid you're going to fail. So you might find some sympathetic activation happening, meaning before you hit that submit button or you're going to launch something, you feel your heartbeat racing, your palms sweating, or maybe you have more of a freezing response and you find yourself procrastinating or doing all the things instead of actually launching or submitting or asking for the sale. So, when our nervous system responds to fear like this, it takes some skills to regulate and move from it. Skills that can help you to re regulate and move through that fear of failure response to do the thing can look like reminding yourself that you are safe. Now, safety can be a big question for many of us, especially if you've had a history of trauma. And that can be trauma in the entrepreneurial space too. So, to find your own sense of safety, think of where you go to feel like you. Think of where you go to feel the best. Then go there. Notice how it feels. You may be going there in your mind, you may be visioning something, or physically going there. But by creating this sense of safety, your nervous system can come to ease. Then, when you approach doing the big thing that's scary because failure might be on the other side, you're more prepared. Another aspect to working with failure is to consider your mindset around it. But this is a subsection of mindset, and let's talk about relationships. So let's play with me here. Let's consider the interpersonal relationship with failure. Imagine failure like that popular movie where all of the emotions are depicted as certain colors and characters. Now think of failure like that. The first step is to ask yourself, what does failure for you personally look like? What do they sound like? What's their name? What does it feel like when you bring them up into mind? Now, you may journal about their characteristics. You may just talk out loud, go on a walk and really let it out. Whatever expression of this character of failure is, honor that. After you've created this character of failure, you have the opportunity to have a relationship on purpose. So if failure up till this point has been a thing that pops in your life, that gets you down, something doesn't work out, and then you're really, really hard on yourself, and it's like, oh no, you didn't do it. And then there can be the guilt about not doing all the things in your business that feels like failure, or the shame related to that. There's so many aspects of how failure might look and might feel in our body. And that's a relationship, my guess is, that's not on purpose, just kind of reacting to what it feels like when it shows up. So this is the opportunity to take that character you created and relationship on purpose. That means saying, hey, failure. In this example, let's call it Franny failure. Okay. Hey, Franny failure. What's up? Then continue the conversation. Listen to what might come up. If nothing comes up, if you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm like just going to be sitting here talking to myself, Nicole, what are you even talking about? How do I do this? That's okay. If you took the first step, you were brave enough to turn towards failure, this thing that's coming into your life, and say, all right, I see you. This is what you look like. This is what you feel like. Here's your name. That's a huge first step. So with this second one, go gently into it. If you do, say, go on a walk, imagine Franny failure right next to you. And you're like, okay, what's up, failure? Where are you right now? I'm feeling kind of afraid of you. Okay. Now, if I'm afraid of you, what can I do to make this relationship better? Oh, okay. You remind me that you're something that comes and goes. You're not always around. Okay. Thank you. And each of these are small insights that may shift not just your mindset, but your nervous system to know that failure is a thing that is human. It happens to all of us. It's actually necessary for learning. Imagine kiddos when they're learning to walk or speak and how many times they fail and get back up again. How many times in your life so far have you failed and still found yourself here? You are alive, you've created a beautiful life, and there are some wonderful things to be grateful for. So failure is human. Failure is a major part of learning and of growth. And if we have an intentional relationship with it, it can shift the stress that comes along or the negative thoughts that come along. So this is a way that you can establish a new relationship with failure to help both your mindset and your nervous system. So when you have the ups and you have those deep downs, they're more manageable. Now, if you're feeling extra courageous and willing, we can create community here on YouTube. So share what's the name of failure for you. Again, my example was Franny failure. Yours can be anything. And even the name you choose might give you some insight into your relationship. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I look forward to connecting.